Welcome back to the Talking Potheads at the Exchange. This is our second episode of the Exchange series.
And we're here at the industry's premier B2B speed networking event where brands and retailers can get together, talk about what they do, and hopefully get some brands into some new dispensaries.
The real business happens here. There's no lollygagging around the expo floor. Meetings are happening, businesses are happening here in real time.
That's right, and so are we. We are here in real time podcasting, giving folks 5 minutes on our show to talk about their products and what's so great about them.
So stay tuned for all of these amazing brands and retailers chatting about themselves. And if you're lost, go back to episode 1 of the Exchange series where we interview Susan and Julie, the creators of the Exchange, and they talk all about why it's important for businesses to be at the Exchange and how it's impacting the cannabis industry.
So come along with us for a fun couple days. We are here with Tori from Nectar. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about your stores. Where are you guys located? How can people find you?
All right. So Nectar is actually it is the biggest retail store in Oregon. We actually have 42 locations across the state. We're open in 3 states. Actually, now we have a few stores in California, and we just opened a few more in Ohio. So we have 50 total.
Awesome.
Nectar is up to 50. Yeah. So it's a kind of a big deal for all of us. Mostly in the Portland metro area, you could probably find a good 30 dispensaries just from Forest Grove is actually where I started, small little town outside of Portland, all the way to Gresham. There's stores in Hillsborough, stores over just all over the place, to be honest. If you Google us, we'll pop up at least a good 5 locations that you can go to within a few mile radius. So yeah, we're pretty widespread and just expanding all the time.
Good for you. That is amazing.
Thanks.
And at Take Root, we're all about budtender education.
Awesome.
So what is one thing that you wish all budtenders knew about cannabis or the industry?
I would say, especially for the industry, that there's a lot of growth, that you don't just have to be a budtender, that there's room for any type of creativity that you have in your brain, usually in the cannabis industry. I started out as a budtender. I did that for about 6 months at one of our smallest stores. And then now I work in our warehouse as our receptionist. And I also purchase for the state of Oregon. And that's just within a 2-year gap. So you can easily work up to any type of corporate position if you desire to. You don't just have to be in customer service as a budtender. I know that it can be very hard to take on everybody's personalities on a day-to-day basis in customer service, and that it could be hard. But honestly, being a budtender was one of the most rewarding customer service jobs I've ever had. And we're very lucky in this industry to be doing what we are, just because cannabis was not always available as it is.
Yeah.
I found it funny the other day that we're buying eggs on the black market now and behind people's houses and buying weed in stores. So it's always changing, always expanding, and there's always room for growth.
I love that you brought that up. I have
you.
a similar story.
Yeah.
I started as a budtender, moved into a marketing position, and now we run our own company educating
so
budtenders.
cool.
So there really is room for whatever kind of expansion that you want. So
Right.
I love to hear that answer.
Thank you. Yeah.
And as a retailer, how has the exchange really benefited your guys' company?
So I have been really connecting with people just more on a deeper level, I would say, as a receptionist and as just a communicator for such a big company. Emails can come across so cut and dry, especially when it comes to all sorts of things, especially compliance. That's such a big deal in the industry. When you get to connect with people, you get to actually have emotion and compassion behind what you're saying. And people can actually understand you, your wants, your needs, that kind of thing, versus just, this is how it is, buddy. This is the industry. It's actually being able to hear and listen everybody's wants and needs is actually, I don't know, it's a lot to take back to my team, and it's a lot to convey, just like seeing the other side of things, not just the Nectar way. It's seeing how other businesses run and how they want to run within our company as well, which I think is always just beneficial. I love everybody that I work with, which not a lot of people can say.
And lastly, what is the good website for folks to come find you?
So for Nectar, it's actually just nectar.store, and that'll bring you to a big general website where you can look up from each different state. Depending on where you are, we are in Oregon, Ohio, and California now. I believe we're up to 3 stores in California, 5 in Ohio, and then the 42 in Oregon. And that'll just give you a huge drop-down list of every single store. And same for employment. It's very easy to apply for Nectar if you're looking to. There's a tab, I believe it's employees, and then you can actually say, because there are so many stores that you can work at, what area you're looking for. Also, there's a lot of flexibility as a bud tender. Say you're not working one day, you might get a text from our department saying, hey, do you want to go work at this location if it's within your range? And you could easily pick up a day and take home some tips. And yeah, we make it really easy for the bud tenders to have a good time. I loved being a bud tender. It was so much fun. We call them nectarines.
Nectarines. I love that. Well, Tori, thank you so much for joining us here today. We hope you have a great exchange.
I appreciate it.
And we are here with Freddie J from Blazing Trails and their eagle.
Mr. Ill Eagle.
Ill Eagle. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about your company, what you guys do?
Yeah, we're Blazing Trails. We're a farm just north of here, October, Oregon. We're a small family farm, craft, farm to table cannabis, hand watered, hand trimmed. We pick unique cultivars. We pop all our genetics from seed in house. So we got a lot of unique strains that a lot of people don't have because we hunt out unique breeders all over the country.
And if you could tell bud tenders one thing, what would it be?
It would be let people lead with their nose and smell what they're smelling because that's what their body's lacking usually. And then give them some information about that so they feel confident in their decision. It's not all just about THC numbers. Well, that's great and fine. Like, it's nice to have an accompaniment to the high, whether it's flavor or the desired effect that they're trying to achieve. Because not everybody wants to get blasted with a 30% strain nowadays.
And how has your business benefited from being here at the exchange?
Oh, it's benefited a lot. We were here last year. We were partnered up with Sugar Top at that time, and we came back this year and did our own booth because it went so well. It's just a great way to get face-to-face with other people in the industry. Even if it doesn't lead to sales, it leads to good relationships that might help you in other ways. So I think it's a great event, and I've enjoyed every minute being here, really.
Love it. Awesome. And if anybody out there wants to find you guys online, how can they follow you?
You can find us on Instagram at Blazing Trails 2023. That's our main page. And then I also have a page, Freddie J. Blaze, on Instagram as well. And that's the best way to look us up. We also have a website, blazingtrails.farm, where you can find links to all our up and coming strains. And also, if you want to leave us a review, if you've tried any of our stuff, we always love feedback. So that's
Awesome.
a good thing. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you. And we are here with Colin from Buddies. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about your brand and where we can find you.
Buddies is a multi-state operator, so you can find us in California, Washington, Oregon, pretty soon in Nevada and Arizona as well by the end of the year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We're in most of the dispensaries in the state, so it'll be easier to find us than not. And we generally focus on vapes and live resin. Got some topical products too.
What is one thing that you wish bud tenders would know about your brand?
I would say that most of our distillate, for example, is a little different than a lot of other distillate out there. We're making ours through an extraction process rather than through a concentrate. So we'll make basically a butane extract rather than an ethanol. And it tends to be a little bit smoother. The terpenes that we use in our brand are made from live resin. So the flavor is really there to compare it to the flower when it's being grown. We tend to think it's a little higher quality than some of the other options out there.
And how does it benefit you to be at an event like the Exchange?
The Exchange is great. We have the opportunity to meet with some particular dispensaries out there who don't work with us, but more often than not, we're meeting with people who currently do work with us. And it gives us the opportunity to talk about upcoming changes. Like currently we're about to do a rebrand, and it gives us the opportunity to find out where we can be better and make sure that we're a better partner for our retail partners out there.
So important, building the community, making sure the industry is built on these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where can people find you on the internet?
On Instagram at Buddies Brand Official and buddiesbrand.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We are here with Tris from High Desert Pure. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm glad to give you a chat.
Tell us a little bit about your company and what you all do.
Okay, so we're High Desert Pure, and we're based out of Bend. We actually are on the high desert over there. And we started back in the medical days, basically as one of the first cartridge companies, because we thought oil was awesome back then. And then over time, we started learning that as awesome as cartridges were, nobody was really taking care of the topical space. And previous to me coming to work at High Desert Pure, I ran the medical marijuana clinic in Bend. And one of the things we did in the pre-legal days, if you wanted topicals, you had to make them yourself. We actually taught people how to make their own topicals and send them home with the stuff we made that day. And really, nobody was doing a very good job of it early on. And we just went, we can do a lot better with what we know and the science that we understand behind it. And just over the years, we got out of cartridges right before everybody was having problems with them. And the ganja gods literally pushed us into the topical space. And we did not fight it. We went with it. It was a big, bold move for us. And it really worked out well. And today we're in over 80% of the shops here in Oregon. We do have a presence in California as well, but we are 100% Oregon owned and operated company here. And it's worked out really well. And one of the most satisfying things is everybody loves to get high, and we all understand that, but we really do add another element where we are helping people's lives be improved and get them off of pharmaceuticals and other drugs, which has been incredibly successful and satisfying at the same time.
Yeah. So as a topical maker, what's one thing that you wish budtenders understood that maybe they don't?
Really, it's about the science of it. Now, look at our demographic of budtenders. They tend to be younger. A lot of them might not have a lot of personal experience with pain, but usually they know somebody that does. And so for me, it's really been important they have personal experience. I can tell them all day about the science behind topicals, and there is legitimate science behind it. But it's really getting it into their hands so they understand it, or give it to grandma or grandpa or friend or whoever that might actually come back. And that's been our biggest key to success, is really getting them to understand it on a firsthand basis, which we're always willing to do, So they know it works. They hear it all day, and they sell our products for us. I've never sold a legal marijuana product in my life except on the wholesale side. So they do my job for me. So
Totally.
they're an important part of our little train of getting stuff done. So
Absolutely. We love our budtenders.
yeah, we do too. And I'm happy to say I've been doing this so long. They seem to love me. So I always bring them free stuff. So
Yes.
That always helps.
Yes, it does.
And how has being at the exchange benefited your business?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I went to the first exchange myself. I always try to avoid these events just because that's me. But last year we went to the one in Portland, and I was incredibly impressed. We've got a lot of business. We actually got to meet some people that do sell our products that we've really not had a lot of contact with. So that was hugely advantageous. And I did not hesitate to sign up for this event after the results of our last one. The follow-up that we've done has been incredibly positive, and I'd do it again without hesitation. But yeah, it's been really good, except for the people that didn't show up this morning. They partied too hard last night, so clearly. But I was ready for action this morning. Yeah, it's been a great event. They've been very helpful, too, from our end. We're always a little bit pushy. Hey, we want this and this. And they've been very accommodating to us. Yeah, good job on the exchange side.
Yeah, amazing. And if anybody is interested in learning more about your company, your brand, where can they find you online?
We're at highdesertpure.com. We've got our full line of THC products. We also have a line of CBD products that, frankly, we send around the world these days, which is crazy. But highdesertpure.com, and then that has links to all of our social media that I have little to do with. But a lot of people do check that. I know we're on Instagram. I think we have a Facebook page and all that. Yeah, highdesertpure.com gets you to where you need to be.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
We are here with Karen and Kristen from Farmers First. Thank you, ladies, for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your company.
So we got started in 2020. We're a female-owned company, and we're a small team. There's about 5 or 6 of us total, and we're based in Portland, but originally got started in Corvallis. Yeah.
Amazing. And what's one thing that you think budtenders should know?
I think one thing that budtenders should know is we're just really trying to pass savings we get and we provide on to our consumers. So we are at a really competitive price to retailers, and we are just hoping that they pass those savings on to consumers so they can get the best product out there. Yeah.
At the exchange, I think it's benefited already, like significantly. We've got to meet so many new people that we've never heard of, people that have never heard of us. Just really
forging new relationships in the industry. We're also launching a new all-in-one vape called Cloud, and we got a lot of good feedback from people here today. It was really validating for us.
People seem excited.
Yeah, and we're obviously really excited. It's a sustainable product. It has a biodegradable shell, and the battery will be recycling in partnership with P3. And so we're really looking forward to that and bringing something to market that's a little bit more sustainable and environmentally friendly.
Love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And where can folks find you online if they want to check out what you're doing?
FarmersFirstPDX.com, and you can just find us on Instagram at FarmersFirstPDX as well. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for
Thank
being
you guys.
here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We are here with Ryan from DispoJoy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. This has been great.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Yeah, DispoJoy, we are a retention marketing agency. So we offer retention marketing tools, texting, email, mobile apps, paid advertising for dispensaries and brands. So we call it the 4 horsemen of retention. I guess cheesy, but there's only 2 ways to grow a business, right? You got to get more customers, or you make it more valuable. And if you want to make it more valuable, then we offer the tools to do that. So it's a pretty simple agency setup. We do a lot of stuff for our clients. So they don't have to hire an agency or hire another person, but our job is to say, hey, what do you want? And how can we help you get there? And it's a lot of fun.
Love that. And what's one thing that you think budtenders should know?
Oh gosh, I could go a long time on this, but I'll probably save people the boredom. There are really 2 things that I think I've noticed over the years, and every store is different in terms of how they support their budtenders, but any budtender that helps a store make more money is going to succeed. So I approach it. 1, if people use their debit card compared to cash, they spend more money, right? So if you want more tips, if you want more opportunity to increase your salary or your take home, convince customers to use a debit card. If your store doesn't have that, convince your owner to do that. They'll make more money. It's just even 20 to 30% higher average ticket. The second one is when people order online, they spend more. So once again, get a customer to order online, and then you get them to use their card in store as opposed to going to the ATM right away.
Yeah.
So if I'm a budtender, I'm looking where that ATM is, and I'm standing in front of it, or I'm putting it next to the counter as opposed to in the front of the door, because most people go right to that and they use cash. At the end of the day, if you can create some type of environment where they come in, you greet them first. So being a budtender, like, greet the customer, don't let them go to the ATM.
Yeah.
Talk to them, get them to order this. Hey, you should add this as well, or you should. I think this will go well with this product or strain or whatever. How you ever want to upsell it without being like pushy, but just the fact that they use their card, they'll spend $10, $15 more, which hopefully just translates to more tips long term. So I'm a budtender. I'm focusing on those 2 things. A kiosk in the dispensary, you can order it from there. They'll spend more on that kiosk, and it's like the 2 easiest. Those are free. The store doesn't have to spend money on it, something like that. So those are things that I tell budtenders and marketers of stores is like easiest 2 things you can do to make more money is that.
Those are good.
Those are good
Those
tips
that we
you.
haven't heard.
Thank
so it's
you.
like new. Yeah,
Perfect.
that's great.
All right, awesome.
How has your business benefited from being here at the exchange?
Yeah, I love this event because it gives us an opportunity to have a deeper conversation as opposed to us just saying, hey, here's some technology, here you go, works really well. But I think understanding more of, rather than surface level of, yeah, of course you want to market your business, of course you want to get more money, but our goal is to say, how do you want to get there? And you can't ask that in an email or sometimes a phone call or even just like showing up randomly to a store. And so I love this event because I can just ask those personal questions like, hey, if we were to help you increase your customer conversion rate or increase average ticket by X, like how would that affect you personally? And those are things that really value and at least get the feedback, and then we can help tailor to our outbound marketing campaigns around that. But that's probably what I like the most is just asking those like personal questions, and even if it's a no, it's like at least we like have an answer. So
It's interesting to have those conversations with people and see where they go.
yeah,
For sure.
it's you can only get so much on a phone or email, and face to face is I
Or
think
even
really,
just looking at the data, it's a lot that you can get from it. But when you can actually talk to somebody and feel into their pain points,
yeah.
go
Somebody
from
might
there.
say they want something like, oh, I'm interested in texting. Okay, why are you interested in texting? Oh, because other people are doing it. Okay, that's fine, that's fair, but like, well, why do you want to do texting? What's it like? What do you think it will do for you and your business? And when you hear their answer, it actually even might realize actually texting might not be for you. It might be this other tool. Email might actually be better to target your customers based on what you're saying, right? Texting might annoy your customers. And so sometimes you can't do that via email or even
Right.
somebody as a cold call or even a meeting. It's nice, but like face to face, you can get them to open up a bit more. That's why like these events are 100% worth it, because you aren't going to get 10 to 20 of those conversations in a days. It'll take over time. And so it just is an efficiency thing as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And if anybody's interested in reaching out to you, working with you, where can they find you online?
Yeah, dispojoy.com. So we are a lot of our inbound through that. I wish I did more on social, but we're very busy. And so our clients come first other than our own. But yeah, dispojoy.com is check us out and see what we're about. And people, like I said, just they can book a call from us right there. And whether they have questions about the current provider they're using, or whether there are costs associated that they're not missing out on, or whether they just want some advice, we're here to help any business wherever they're marketing, whether it's with us or whatever. Yeah, appreciate the questions and the time.
Yeah, thank you for being with us today.
Cheers. Cheers.
We are here with Wiley and Alex from Cannabis on Time. Thank you guys so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us over.
Can you tell us a little bit about your company?
We're Cannabis on Time. We're pretty new to the Eugene retail market. We've started with guaranteed lowest prices in town. So we are a lot more customer focused, and we're looking forward to really just making a name for ourselves out there.
Awesome. Congrats on opening. Super exciting.
It takes a lot of effort, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We are on 7th and Garfield right at the corner, and we try to always have a $20 ounce available. We have just honestly the best prices that we can find and pass on. They're there for you.
Awesome.
How long have you been open?
Little over a year and a half now.
Okay. And if you guys could tell a budtender one thing, what would you want them to know?
The more you know about your product, the easier your day is going to be. Being able to educate a customer and earn their respect in that manner goes a long ways in this business. It makes your sales easier because once you earn that level of trust, then they just walk in and they say, give me your recommendation.
That's the sweet spot.
It is.
To be as a budtender, absolutely. Any thoughts to add?
Ooh, probably just to never stop studying. There's always new research and science coming out, new terpenes that they're looking into, and it's really fun as well as informative to stay on top of that. It's so much more than just THC out there, and having more people pay attention to that part of it is really cool.
Amazing.
Love that. And how does your business benefit by coming to the exchange?
We're reestablishing some connections with vendors and making new ones with stuff that we have planned coming down the pipe. It's good to just have those set in place, and it's easier to make those connections face to face than trying to cold call or reach out by email.
Especially with 420 coming up, trying to get all of the best deals we can find.
Absolutely.
And where can folks find you online if they want to follow you on social media?
We are not super up to date on our social media yet. Hopefully that'll be coming more soon. Right now, just see us in person. Got great different deals every day. We're there.
Yep. Our main advertising has just been guerrilla and word of mouth. And it's doing the trick for now, but we're definitely looking to expand.
Love that.
I love that.
Got projects for the future.
Exactly.
Things to do. Well, thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And we are here with Logan from Cascade Valley Cannabis. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Sure. We're a farm. We're located in Corvallis, Oregon. We started specializing in pre-rolls back in 2016. We were one of the first licenses in the state. So pre-rolls have been our bread and butter for the last 9+ years. We expanded and got our processing license and started doing concentrates and vapes and gummies and stuff a couple years ago. And we also have our wholesale license, so we stay busy wherever we can, helping out our dispensary partners and other farms in the area, sourcing the products that they need.
Awesome. And what's one thing that you think budtenders should know in the industry?
What they should know about us, we are a family-run business. We're local. I've been growing in the same area for the last 20 years. My mom works closely with me. My aunt works for me. My little sister is out there holding it down. We have about a dozen full-time employees, and they're all full-time and have worked for us for years. So we're farm direct. Pretty much all of our products are single source from the farm, made on site. We deliver everything ourselves. We're just a little family-run business, and we're happy to be here 10 years into the rec industry. Still
That's
rocking
awesome.
it.
That's
Love our
awesome.
small farmers. Love you guys
Yeah.
so much.
And how does it benefit your business being here at the exchange?
This is our first exchange. I'd heard a lot about it from our clients and from other farms and brands. It's huge. It's those like golden conversations that we do get to have on the road and doing vendor days, maybe once a week or very randomly, but it's a bunch all in one day, stacked on top of each other. We're talking to the right people, and we have everything we need within arm's length reach.
Yeah.
And we can put it on their lap. Between that and just the general mingling and socializing, yeah, I'm struggling to put a value on the time that we're spending here, but it's high.
And if anybody wants to find you online, follow what you're doing, where can they find you?
Yeah, CascadeValleyCannabis.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok.
We just got on Blue Sky.
Yeah,
Excited
get
to
on.
see how that all pans out.
Yep. Yeah, we're very active on Instagram. That's definitely the place to keep up with our like product releases, just the daily activity on the farm.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate
Yeah.
your time.
Thank you.
We are here with Ashleen and Cody from Freshie. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us. It's great.
Yeah, this is wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
So we're business development for Freshie. It's a live resin flavored cartridge. We're a small company out of Estacada, Oregon.
We specialize in live resin that is flavored as well as non-flavored. Typically, our products contain 5 times more cannabinoids than what is available on the market. So that's one of the things that we're very proud of.
That's cool. And what's one thing that you wish budtenders would know, either about your company or just in general?
One thing that sets us apart, all of our cartridges, every single one of them, even the flavored ones, on average have 5 times more cannabinoids than any other distillate cart that's out there. And you can even see that on the back of the boxes. So it's not just traces of cannabinoids, but you'll see good counts of THCV, CBD, CBG up in the 8 to 10% range.
Cool. That is unique.
Yeah, so you get a nice full spectrum, a nice entourage effect, like you're really getting stoned.
Yeah, but with the added flavor, it also gives people a discreet way of consuming cannabis, but also giving them a high quality product.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
How has being at the exchange benefited your business?
Oh, it's been so great to get in front of everybody from the industry and see different perspectives, but also just mingle in a short amount of time and not have to drive all the way over Oregon to do it.
Anything to add?
And yeah, I think that with the cannabis industry, it is so small. And so it is great to have a unified place where we can all come together because we all are in the same community. So it's nice to bridge that gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Where can folks find you online if they want to follow what you're doing?
You can find us on Instagram at We Are Freshie. That is our Instagram handle. And we would love to see more follows, especially from our budtenders. So we'd love to see you online.
Thank you guys for joining us today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We are here with Rose and Jordan from Dr. Feelgood. Welcome, you guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your brand.
Dr. Feelgood is a line of nano gummies. They're manufactured in Hillsboro, Oregon. New to the market, launched about this time last year, but 2024 we were awarded the fastest growing edible in Oregon by LeafLink. So pretty proud of that. Yeah, but it's a full line of nano gummies, bringing something new to the category.
Yeah, it's a revolutionary product. It's I know the gummy area is very saturated, and we bring something a very different experience to that area. And yeah, I think we're a scrappy little crew. We're small but scrappy. We've been working really hard the last year, and yeah, we are the fastest growing edible manufacturer in Oregon right now.
I think we first met you guys at the last exchange.
Yeah.
And we're given samples. The promise that they would work within like 10, 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We clubbed
Yes.
12 minutes.
Yes.
12 I remember
Love
you
it.
guys.
I do remember this now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
We were testing you. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I was amazing. And it was a great, yeah, relax after this great day.
Yeah.
Right.
Sweet.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool.
Right.
That's great.
So what is one thing that you wish budtenders knew about your products, something in general in the industry, about your brand?
I think if we could just take all of the science and knowledge that's in Rose's brain and put it in front of the budtenders, that would probably be super impactful. But to her point, like, it's definitely a different gummy. There's nothing like this that's been put out before. The nano formulation, like you said, literally 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, doesn't process through the liver. So it's super easy on the body. No edible hangovers. Like, I mean, if you have kiddos, trying to get up in the morning with an edible hangover is like an absolute disaster. Yeah, if we could just get those like few points in front of everybody and just let them know this is not like any other gummy you've ever tried, that's probably the number one thing we put in front of them.
I think that this is the edible equivalent to smoking a joint after work or having a beer after work. It's going to hit you right away. You're going to relax for a little while, and then you're ready to move on.
I think it's having budtenders know that this is a credible product and that we're not just saying we have nanotechnology or saying that we're something that we're not. We are using pharmaceutical technology, and we are validating our emulsions and our fast-acting activity with analysis for every batch. We are one of the very few companies that has not just the equipment to make this nanoemulsion, but the equipment to analyze the consistency of it. And that there's just a lot of little things that raise a gummy from somebody just wanted to start making gummies versus somebody who's developed quality candy and added a quality dosing platform to it that's created an exemplary experience. And I think that's what Dr. Feelgood offers. I think that's what our gummies offer. And I think that our upcoming ratios that are coming out are actually also going to be a really revolutionary addition to the market, because this will be the first time that someone will be able to take a titrated dose of CBN, of CBD, of THC together that is metabolized like a smoke would be. But you know exactly how many milligrams are going to be in there, and nobody does that now.
Very cool. I'm excited.
They're pretty cool. Can't confirm. Pretty cool.
He's been in on the pilot batches, and
They're my new favorite.
He did wake up the next day.
Still here. Still here. Still here.
And how has your business benefited from being at the exchange?
We've really benefited from the exchange. It's been really last year in Eugene, and then also at the one in Portland. I think it was a really great way to have a small, scrappy business like we are, with just a few people getting the whole thing going, to really meet constructively with people who were interested in our product. And I got to bring that technology forward so that the people who were potentially going to buy our product actually saw I knew what I was talking about, and the data behind our production process. And that has been super beneficial. And the way that it runs so regimented, every 30 minutes you're going to meet with somebody new, and you're going to be able to bring this product to other people that are serious in the industry, that are here for the same purpose, for looking for new products, unchallenged. It's really a great event in that sense.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's tough sometimes to relay the passion that goes into creating a new product like that. And when you have the opportunity to sit across from somebody and just get on a human level, it's invaluable in this industry. It's all relationships. So yeah, any opportunity to sit down and be able to just chat for a minute is huge. So yeah, it couldn't have been better for us.
And if anybody wants to find your product online on social media, where can we find you?
At Green Beehive, greenbeehive.com. And then, of course, LeafLink as well. All of our family of brands are on there as well.
Green-Beehive.
Beehive.
Thank you.
There we go.
The
dash is important.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Dr. Feelgood THC.
Yep.
Is the other website and Instagram. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us today.
Cool. Thank you.
We are here with Amber from Fire Department and Feel Goods. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your companies.
I am here representing, I'm a sales rep, a longtime sales rep in the business, but I worked for the last 2 years at Fire Department and Feel Goods. Fire Department is the first company we launched, and now we've followed up with a second brand, Feel Goods. We started as a pre-roll company, completely Oregon-based, Oregon-born, but we've since expanded. Most people know us as just a pre-roll company, but we've since expanded. We have a huge product line. We make edibles, pre-rolls, pre-roll packs. We do vape products, so mostly all-in-one cartridges, 510 cartridges, and some infused pre-rolls. We have an infused pre-roll line. So we're really a high-value brand. We cater toward 80% of the market that wants something very well-packaged, very consistent, very high quality. We partner with, I think one of the biggest beauties of Fire Department is we are not farmers. We partner with all the major tier farms out there, all indoor farms. So a lot of our partners are here, actually. Oregon Roots, Capricorn, I believe, is here today. Many farms. Sometimes I forget them all because we produce 100,000 pre-rolls a week. And totally, it's crazy. When you run the pre-roll machine, I think it does 30,000 in a day. And we really sell through them. You'd be surprised. People go crazy for Fire Department pre-rolls. But we have a huge repertoire of partners.
Yeah.
A lot of them are here today, which is one thing that I think makes fire department so special. But anyway, we're just a great high value brand, really consistent products, really well packaged, and we are a one-stop shop. We basically have it all except for bulk flower, but great brand, Oregon born, one single owner, and I like it a lot. So good products. I hope you guys get to try the samples that I gave you.
We've tried you guys in the past. We love fire department.
Thank you.
And what's one thing that you wish budtenders knew about the industry, about your brand, about your products?
I went into that a little bit, but I think one of the biggest beauties of fire department, like I said, is that we are not farmers. And sometimes I feel like pre-roll companies, they can get a bad rap, especially early on in the industry. I feel like some of the most low quality, low end flower used to kind of get pushed into pre-rolls. Whereas we're sourcing really great flower from really great farms. We source all indoor flower. We partner with a lot of the farms that all these people have on their shelves already. We're really just situated nicely as a product to kind of just highlight some, of the really great cannabis cultivators flower out there. So I think that not a lot of people realize that. I think probably that we are farmers and we're putting through our mass produced strains into these flower pre-rolls. We partner with the same folks they do.
Amazing.
Thank you.
And how has your business benefited from being at the exchange?
I personally really love the exchange. This is my 4th time being at the exchange. My first time in Eugene, and I'm really loving the Eugene exchange.
It's a good one.
It's got a vibe for
Yes,
sure.
absolutely.
I'm really into it. I feel like, for example, there's someone here today that we have spoken through email and over the phone for 8 years and we've never met in person. So I know. So we met here last night actually at the event and we got to chat for the first time face to face. So that is a huge benefit for me. So just connecting, because retail is a fast-paced environment and you don't often get to convey new products, promotions, things you really love to talk to these retail dispensary owners about. And so this is a great space where it's just, we got 20 minutes. We're going to get right down to business here. And I'm going to tell you all these things that I probably can't tell you in a fast-paced retail environment. Also, it just really reinvigorates me as a sales rep. I get to talk to all these other reps out there, and I feel like our job is fairly unique. There's a lot of people in sales in this world, but cannabis sales is pretty niche. And so I don't often get to talk to people that do what I do. I often talk to salespeople, but I don't often get to talk to cannabis salespeople. And I don't know, that's just a really fun aspect of it for me. I definitely leave feeling like I'm just going to go get them. Let's do this. So it's really, I love it.
That's a great feeling.
Totally.
For sure.
Absolutely. You sometimes need it, especially this time of year, which is a historically slow season in sales. So it's beneficial.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to find you guys online, where can they follow you?
We have a small social media presence, but we all know how cannabis is treated on social media. We are on social media. You can find our brands. I believe it's Fire Department Oregon and Feel Goods Oregon on Instagram. We also have a web page. I believe the URL is firedepartmentcannabis.com, but you'd probably be able to Google it.
Totally.
It'll be in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a great rest of your day here at the Exchange.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
We are here with Tyson from Posibit. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Yeah, so Posibit. So we're a point of sale company. We're based out of Seattle, Washington. And so obviously Oregon being our sister state, we wanted to make an appearance here. So out in Washington, we have about 80%. We serve about 80% of the market share up there in Washington on our point of sale. We do a great job there. And we just obviously wanted to bring this to Oregon. And so that's why we're here. We've been to the exchanges over in Portland. This is our first time in Eugene and kind of meet with stores out here. So it's been great.
Awesome. And what's one thing that you wish budtenders knew, whether about your company, product, brand, anything like that?
I would say that there is a point of sale software out there that can make it very easy for them to have, whether it's your first day on the floor or you've been there for 3 years, you can have that engaging conversation with the customer because you can see how many times a customer has shopped there, what they like. And so when you're talking to them, you can be recommending stuff that customer likes. With such a high turnover rate for budtenders, it can be stressful getting on the floor for the first time and you're learning a new system, you're talking to new customers. But with our system, we can display customer favorites, what the store might be wanting to highlight that week. And so we try to help to facilitate that conversation to be pretty engaging, even for a brand new budtender. Yeah.
Amazing.
How has your business benefited from being here at the Exchange?
It's amazing. So point of sale, it's not the sexiest conversation, right? When you talk to people and you're like, I'm a point of sale company, they're like, oh, it's usually a headache for them, which understand it's the core of their business. And there's a lot of systems out there that give people a lot of headaches. So I get that. What I'd argue, though, it's one of the most important conversations to have because it's such a core part of their business. And so being at these trade shows, you really get to be in front of the right folks. If I was to just call on a Tuesday morning, they're doing so much. They don't want to talk about a point of sale right now. And so it can be very difficult to respect their time and find a good time to have a chat with them about that. This show allows us 20 minutes to just have a quick conversation, tell them about what we do, and just be in front of the right people. It's been invaluable. We're doing great things, especially in Washington, but we're not a huge team. And so we don't have a huge marketing department. And so a lot of our success in Washington has just been word of mouth. It's just been being real good with our customers and them introducing us to other stores. And these shows really help on the marketing side. We get the biggest bang for our buck, I think, in that we meet all the right folks and we make the right connections that we're looking to make, right? And even though it's 20 minutes, it's invaluable. So. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's great. If anybody wants to check you guys out, find you online, how can they do that?
It's POSABIT. I don't know where the camera is. I think this one, POSABIT. So it's just POSABIT. So it's just POSABIT.com, or you can reach out to us at sales@POSABIT.com. There's short videos on the website, just things to look over. So just by visiting the website, you can get a good handle on what we do. If you email sales@POSABIT, you'll probably chat with me and we can have a conversation and chat more, of course.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are here with Angel from Golden Grail. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate you guys having me today.
Tell us a little bit about your store.
Yeah, so I'm part of the Golden Grail group, and we pretty much cover two brands. We have the Chalice stores, and as well as the homegrown stores. In Eugene, we have a third separate one. It's a Jim Belushi themed Animal House dispensary.
Oh, fun.
Cool. Yeah, so all heads can enjoy that.
Yeah, that's cool. And what's one thing that you think all budtenders should know?
Ooh, I wish every budtender would be comfortable and confident talking about terpenes. Just talking about them a little bit more and just like how they can affect the high. And the question I get asked often is like, do terpenes get me high? What are terpenes? I wish they had a lot more confidence under those questions.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. And how has it benefited your business being here at the Exchange?
Being here at the Exchange has been really beneficial because I've been able to reconnect with certain brands I haven't seen in a while. And then with the brands that I have worked with, it's been an incredible opportunity to get A to B on some of the plans that we've had. A very focused discussion around future like negotiations, discounts. So I even met with one of my bigger brands that I work with very closely, and it was a wonderful opportunity to go through some of those finer points and having a focused environment where we can get through business.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And if folks want to check you out online or see where they can find the shop, how do they find you?
Go ahead and look up on our website, goldengrail.com. That's the best way to find us. We have a map to all of our locations. But it's easy to see like if we're in your neighborhood and we can supply you with some good flour.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you guys for having me.
We are here with Angel from Golden Grail. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate you guys having me today.
Tell us a little bit about your store.
Yeah, so I'm part of the Golden Grail group, and we pretty much cover two brands. We have the Chalice stores, and as well as the homegrown stores. In Eugene, we have a third separate one. It's a Jim Belushi themed Animal House dispensary.
Oh, fun. Cool.
Yeah, so all heads can enjoy that.
Yeah, that's cool. And what's one thing that you think all budtenders should know?
Ooh, I wish every budtender would be comfortable and confident talking about terpenes. Just talking about them a little bit more and just like how they can affect the high. And the question I get asked often is like, do terpenes get me high? What are terpenes? I wish they had a lot more confidence under those questions.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. And how has it benefited your business being here at the Exchange?
Being here at the Exchange has been really beneficial because I've been able to reconnect with certain brands I haven't seen in a while. And then with the brands that I have worked with, it's been an incredible opportunity to get A to B on some of the plans that we've had. A very focused discussion around future like negotiations, discounts. So I even met with one of my bigger brands that I work with very closely, and it was a wonderful opportunity to go through some of those finer points and having a focused environment where we can get through business.
Absolutely. And if folks want to check you out online or see where they can find the shop, how do they find you?
Go ahead and look up on our website, goldengrail.com. That's the best way to find us. We have a map to all of our locations, but it's easy to see like if we're in your neighborhood and we can supply you with some good flour.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you guys for having me.
We are here with Aaron from Southern Oregon Family Farms. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about Southern Oregon Family Farms, what you guys do.
We're Oregon's first OLCC sun grower, owner, operator, producer cooperative. And so it's the future of cementing small family farms, the future of cannabis, we're told. But a lot of pressure on the small family farms and farmers in general, especially with the conglomerization of our industry. One way small farms succeed traditionally is through cooperating. So we have a word that's called co-opetition, where a lot of us farms are in a similar industry. We feel like as a group, by pooling our resources, we can actually outcompete the large corporate model because of our passion is really a resource that can't be purchased.
That's amazing. I love that. And what's one thing that you wish budtenders knew about your philosophy, products that you put out, anything like that?
I believe that the value proposition our cooperative has is greater than any one farm can offer because it's a coalition of the movement that our organization is moving towards, which is supporting the small family farm structure of the future of our industry, versus also being able to come out to the farms and engage in our events where we really try to invest in the relationship and the information that's exchanged both ways, because we want to offer budtenders an opportunity to learn about our products, enjoy the Southern Oregon lifestyle that we as farmers live, but we also want to learn about consumer experience, because that's something that farmers are really detached from, or that we're just all self-righteous and think we grow the best weed, but really there's a lot more to it that's beyond any one product. All the consumers have a lot of varying experiences, and how do we gain value and insight into how to be better?
That's great.
That is good. I love that.
How has your business benefited from being at the exchange?
The exchange is really great to meet people in person. It's difficult for farmers to schedule showings, drop samples, make deliveries when it's all around the state, and purchasing lots are really on the smaller side compared to how much a farm produces. It's very typical for a farm to produce about 2,000 pounds of flower or more per acre, and trying to be able to have a distribution model that works, and that before they got back into harvest and or planting, cash flow, there's a lot of needs. And farmers traditionally are not, cannabis farmers specifically, don't have the biggest resource of professional skills. And so the selling part of cannabis, a lot of farms struggle with that. That's why we created the co-op and the wholesale specifically, so that farmers can stay farmers. We can drop a product off to a certain provider that we own that can be involved in marketing, branding, and distributing the product, so that we can focus on doing what we enjoy, which is being on the farm, playing with their cows and their dogs, being under the sun, engaging with plants.
That sounds fabulous. For your beautiful lifestyle.
We love to share it with people. We're going to have events. We're really active in activism. We were pretty important as far as the Aspergillus hold. And as a group of farms, pooling our resources, it's amazing the human capital and knowledge we have, but also the field resource. It's really exciting because cooperatives is how small family farms succeed in agriculture. And so it's amazing that there's all the connections we have as a group or individually once we get into it. It's really cool things going on.
That's the future. There's no way forward to create. Yeah.
So I love that.
Keep on doing what you're doing, dude. Yeah. And if anybody wants to follow what you guys are doing online or support you, how can they find you?
We have a YouTube channel, Southern Oregon Valley Farms. We have a documentary. It's about 45 minutes long. It talks about all of the different farms. You would look for Southern Oregon Valley Farms, and then Sharing the Sun is the title of the film. But we also have a website, sofamilyfarms.com, and we're on LaveLink as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Awesome.
It's day 2. We're here getting ready for another wonderful day. People are slowly filtering in after the after party last night.
Yeah, the after party was pretty fun.
Insert clip.
Did we get a clip?
I got a clip.
Okay.
Oh, so we're getting ready to record for day 2, bringing in a bunch of people to talk about their brands.
It's going to be very fun.
Yesterday.
We interview a handful, more than a handful,
3 handfuls.
8 handfuls of businesses and brands that are here at the exchange doing business. So buckle in for day 2. Let's go.
See you for breakfast.
Cheers.
We are here with Percy from Bud Superstore. Thank you so much for joining us today.
welcome.
It's
Thank
the
you.
end of the day. We're
Yes.
here. We're still here. Tell us a little bit about your store.
Our store, it started, I'm pretty sure, like around the same time medical was around. And that's River City. That's like our OG store. And then after River City came Bud Superstore. I was hired on 2021 as a bud tender. I started working at another farm before they hired me back on. And then I wanted to work my way up to management and finally here. Took me a couple years.
Congratulations.
Great team. We're family oriented. They're all about the employees. And that's one thing that I love about the business.
That's so nice.
That's awesome.
Well, what's one thing that you think all budtenders should know?
Bud tenders should know pretty much the basics of customer service. They don't even have to know like what terpenes, because you can easily look that up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good one. And how has your business benefited from being here at the exchange?
We got to meet a lot of new people, a lot of new vendors, just the side of it. We get to get out and hands-on things. Instead of just waiting on people to show up to the dispensary with flyers here and there, we're actually talking face to face. I love it.
That's awesome.
You guys have a big crew here too.
Yes.
Cool that everybody gets to come.
We have
participate.
everybody from one person from each store. And then we have a couple bud tenders with us too to represent.
That's awesome.
Everybody could be here.
Good. Well, we've got a lot of people though anyways,
Yes.
so it's great. And tell us where we can find you online if anybody wants to follow you.
Online, you can follow me on Instagram at The Real PD Mac.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
And we are here with Andy from TKO Farms. Welcome. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
sitting down with us.
Of course.
Tell us a little bit about your brand, where folks can find you.
Of course. So we are TKO Farms. We are in Southern Oregon, more specifically in Eagle Point. We're in a lot of dispensaries across the state, mainly in Southern Oregon, since we're where we're based out of. But Top Shelf, Canopy 7, Red Barn, we've been in some Groundwork stores. It's so beneficial for us to be here at the exchange because connections, networking is what keeps the industry alive.
Yeah.
And that was one of the biggest things when I was a bud tender was I got to meet a lot of people, including businesses that I eventually worked for, because it was a good pivoting point in the cannabis industry. So I always suggest to people, if you want to get into the industry, start as a bud tender because you can always find very fast what you like or what you don't like.
Absolutely. What makes your brand stand out from everybody else?
So something that has definitely helped us out is genetics. That's something that we essentially campaigned on when we came out. We were working closely with the cookie family. So we had some mochi, like very unique genetics that at the time were blowing up in the area. So that was a big thing for us. And the other thing, they almost go hand in hand, is organic. Being organic is very important for people, especially people that use it as medicine. They're going to be asking those questions. And as a bud tender, I found out very quickly who was using it for medicine and who just wanted to have fun.
That's fantastic. Where can folks find you to follow you online?
Oh, so we are TKO Reserve on Instagram. And that would be probably the best place to get information on us. I've personally been making more content on the page. So every Friday or Saturday, we release like a video of the farm. It has all of the drops of the locations where we did drops that week.
That's cool.
So that way people are always getting the newest strains and the freshest crop.
Fabulous.
That's awesome.
Thanks for sitting down with us.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Hi, we are here with Pam from Bubbles Hash. Thank you for being with us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
I have Bubbles Hash. I make keef, bubble hash, moon rocks, syrups, and keepy joints. Oh, and I also have Opalist sex oil.
Oh, very cool.
It's a new product coming out on the market.
Nice. Yes. Okay, great. What's one thing you think bud tenders should know?
One product that I have that people really like is the bubble hash. It's a special type of bubble hash. It's a dry crumble, so you don't need to hot knife it. It's really easy to use as a bowl topper or to roll into a joint. So, and no mess. Yeah. So that's one thing. Oh, the bubble hash, I think, is probably our one product that is most beneficial for us. Most beneficial for people just because of the ease of use, and it's really hard to find. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
true. You don't see a ton of bubble hash out there.
Yeah, no, it's certified keef and bubble hash, and we make moon rocks too, which are really unique.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is unique. I don't see a lot of moon rocks on the market these days.
No.
But
Yeah, they're a challenge to make.
Yeah.
But the testing, there's the relative difference in your percentage when the test is taken. They take 2 samples, and there should be a 15% difference between the 2 samples in your potency. And if it's over 15%, you fail. So if you're under 15%, then you pass. So that's where it's really challenging to make moon rocks, and why we see a lot of moon rock joints on the market. Yeah.
Oh, interesting tidbit. I didn't know. How has it benefited your business being at the exchange?
Oh, tremendously. Just the exposure to all of the retail stores every year, the farmers, the processors. We've met companies to collaborate with, like other processors, farmers to collaborate with, farmers to buy product from, flour and trim. And then just having the exhibitor table instead of a vendor has been phenomenal. Just with the amount of people coming by, we're able to show them our products. They're taking our coasters or stickers, and then our product brochure. And then, of course, we're relating with LeapLink to make that connection on the scale. But the exchange has been tremendous. We did the Portland exchange in September, and our sales just took off after that. And I expect the same thing after this one, because Eugene has more of the demographic that uses my product, the keep and the hash. As I say, that's the older heads. I'm an older head. So anyway, yeah, I sell a lot more down here. So I think it's been really good for the stores here to find us. And yeah, because there's, like I said, there's not a lot of bubble hash and keep in the market. So we're filling a pretty big hole. Yeah. So,
That's fabulous.
That's awesome.
yeah, thank you.
If anybody's interested in finding you or following you online, where can they check you out?
Sure. So you can find us on Instagram. We're at Bubble Hash PDX. And you can find our products on LeapLink to make a purchase. You can email me, pam@bubbleshash.com. And my website is a little bit in fluctuation right now, but we'll have that sorted out really quick. Yeah.
Excellent.
So thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for joining us today.
Thanks for being here. You guys are tremendous. You're a real asset for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we are here with John from Magic Number. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about Magic Number and what you guys do.
Sure. So Magic Number is Oregon's original cannabis beverage brand. We were started in Bend in 2014 in one of our founders' garages.
Nice.
We started making ginger beer and cold brew coffee in multiple potencies, meaning multiple magic numbers. Everybody has a magic number for an optimal experience. And so we wanted to make sure that when people have a beverage, it was kind of light, medium, and strong.
Makes sense.
I love that. I love that it ties in with your name. Makes sense.
So that's everyone has a magic number. And initially it was 3 milligrams was the first strength we made. That's where our friend said, oh, I'm starting to feel that. So that was one magic number. And we had 10 milligrams and 25. We expanded to 50 and 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like 3 as a starting point. That feels like a really good starting point.
It is a good starting point. And cannabis is a funny industry because being in the beverage realm, one of the things I look at is how people use and enjoy alcohol. And nobody apologizes in alcohol for saying, I can't drink half a bottle of booze, right? I can't drink a whole bottle of vodka. But people will say, oh, I'm sorry, I have a low tolerance. And like we say, there's nothing wrong with that. How about having a great experience? It's completely manageable. You don't lose yourself. You don't get lost in your head. And so having multiple potencies so people can enjoy a whole beverage or split it with a friend is ideal to us.
I love that.
Love
That's
that.
great.
And what is one thing that you want budtenders to know?
One of the things that I find most exciting is how cannabis, and especially cannabis beverages, are finding a place with people who are deciding that they don't like alcohol. For thousands of years, there was only alcohol and caffeine in beverages for people to relax or get their giddy up or get energized. And now we've got cannabis. Like in the past 10 years, we've been around. There's finally something else in there to say, okay, you don't have to go to alcohol. You don't have to go to caffeine. You can get something else. And it's so exciting. When I started this, I never expected people to come up and say, thank you so much for making what you do. You're helping me avoid a substance that was actually really detrimental to me.
Wow.
And so there's a lot of opportunities for people to replace the other things with a new kind of drink.
Absolutely. I feel like beverages make it so accessible to a lot of people.
We wake up in the morning, we go to bed at night. Throughout the day, we have beverages. They're a natural part of what we do as human beings, whether it's for hydration, for social reasons, for nourishment, for comfort, and to be able to bring something like cannabis into that and not have it just be full throttle, let's say 100 milligram drink. It could be, we don't do threes anymore.
Okay.
But we do 10s with resealable caps so that people can
nice.
split it up and have a couple different servings in a smaller one or a bigger one. And yeah, it's really exciting.
That's cool. That's great. How has your business benefited from coming to the exchange?
The exchange is great because you get that face-to-face time with shops, but you also get face-to-face time with other professionals in your industry who are on the sell side, right? Great to have time and dedicated time with the buy side to talk about your products. All of the vendors who come bring a high level of interest. They bring great questions. And for sure, deals get done here. There's no doubt about that. But to also see your colleagues on the sell side in the industry, catch up with people you haven't seen in a long time. For us, we make new connections. We find new input sources. We meet new farmers and processors who we can look to work with in the coming years. It's just a lot of fun.
It does feel like an old family reunion or school reunion at the last couple of times that we've been, and you just see the groups of people who have been together clearly for a long time in this industry with those bonds, and it's really nice to see us all to come together and form those relationships again.
It's nice to be social for sure. We're all running around the state, either dropping product, trying to make sales meetings, and it's not very often that you get to be in a room with 200, 400 other people who are all looking to develop this industry, to disrupt the status quo and bring something that never existed before, or maybe it existed in the black market, bring it into existence in a legal way, in a positive way, and share those ideas. So we just have a blast.
And if anybody wants to follow you online, where can they find Magic Number on social media?
Our website, Drink Magic Number, www.drinkmagicnumber.com, and also our social media, We Drink Magic Number. We have a backup account, Drink Magic Number 50, and our main account is Shadowban.
Yeah.
It's not exactly easy, but We Drink Magic Number, you'll find us. If you do follow our backup account, it'll usually be me who will show up and say, hey, follow us over at the other one.
And we are here with Brenda from Good Day Distro. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me join you.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your company and why you're here at the exchange.
I work for a distributor based out of Portland, Oregon, and coming to exchange for me is like an excuse to gather. Usually I'm not with these other sales reps or some of these dispensaries because they're in a different part of the state than the one that I represent for. I think Good Day participates for those reasons. It usually connects me with somebody where today, like somebody from Goshen, they're the only dispensary in that town. They're not in my Leaf Link, which is my CRM where I get my input customers in, unless I'm literally checking for the OLCC website and pulling these numbers. I wouldn't notice there's a new shop over there who's interested in us or who needs the service. So I'm super thankful for getting together with my customers and getting a chance to see what their business actually needs, because I have all of my products here in the booth with me. You can touch them, you can taste them. There's tons of non-medicated. It's awesome. Yeah.
That is awesome. What is something that makes your brand shine?
I think the variety that we have on our menu. I am lucky to work with the distributor and get to offer edibles and cartridges and pre-rolls, flour. It all comes in multiple forms. Mr. Moxie Mints. Woo! That was one of my first learning experience on my menu of, wow, I really support this brand. I love it. And I can just talk about it and give you all the reasons to sell it in this store. Mr. Moxie's does a budtender training, and they
really take care of a niche section of the market. It's like a low dose item. It's a mint. There's a lot of mints in one metal tin.
Moxies are great.
Yeah, we love Moxies.
And where can people find your brand online?
For customers, they can find us at leafly.com. You can either search any of the brands on our menu, or you can find us on LeafLink if you are a retail shop looking to purchase.
Amazing. Perfect. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.
We are here with Max and Kellyanne from Happy Haze. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you.
And can you tell us a little bit about your store?
Yeah, we're from Happy Haze. We're an awesome little mom and pop shop in Eugene, Oregon. We're on the outskirts of downtown. We are woman owned. It's a very small shop, but we have lots of fun in there.
I bet.
We have been around for about 1.5 years now. We've really made a name for ourselves about affordability and quality. We've got everything from $2 grams to some of the best that Eugene has to offer. And we just try to bring quality with a smile.
Okay. And what is one thing that you wish budtenders knew coming into the industry?
I think that everybody should know that the education is wildly vast, but it's so fun to learn. There's so much to it. And yeah, it needs to be very important to the job, and it's awesome to learn.
I would have to say product knowledge. That's the most important. You don't have to have personal experience with everything, but you just need to do your homework, and it makes the job that much easier.
Totally
Love
agree.
those answers. Yeah. And how has your business benefited from being here at the exchange?
This is my first time, so I'm a newbie, but I've met some cool faces, awesome new brands. Just widens our opportunities, and networking is great.
This is my third exchange, and I haven't been to one yet that hasn't been fruitful in finding either an exact product that I'm looking for or something that I didn't even know that we were looking for. And we really try to be a shop that is one stop, and the exchange allows us to meet with brands that can help us fill those spots.
So important. And how can folks find you online, or where can they find your store if they want to check you guys out?
Yeah, we are very active on Instagram. Our handle is happy_haze_Eugene 2.0. We have a website as well that leads directly to our online menus. That is happyhazeeugene.com.
Easy peasy. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much.
We are here with Scott from THCFO Accounting. Thank you for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about your firm.
So THCFO Accounting is a remote accounting firm dedicated to helping cannabis and psychedelic industry businesses grow using best industry standards. So what that means is we're completely 100% in these industries. We understand things like 280E and all those other ancillary things that not all other accountants and CPAs are aware of, or they may take too conservative or too aggressive of approach, getting their client in trouble or not getting them that there's tax deductions.
So why would an ancillary business like yours thrive at the exchange?
It puts us in front of clients that need our services. So instead of just shotgunning approaching out there, trying to get our name out there, be recognized, let people try and find us in a more passive way, this is more of a direct puts us in front of clients that we know are in this industry, we know are doing what they're doing, and they can either stop by our table and talk to us or schedule an appointment, or we mill about, talk to them too. And some of them are fairly well educated in this space and the accounting and what they need. Others are like, oh my God, I didn't know. So it's a great educational experience for everyone all the way around.
Yeah, we definitely agree. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your business?
It's a call, thcfoaccounting.com. But no, we provide free consultations. We're willing to talk to people. We want to get our name out there. We've gone to multiple exchanges now. We love this event. It's great, and encourage others to come.
Awesome. And you mentioned your website. Can you say it again, and anywhere else anyone can find you online?
thcfoaccounting.com or just thcfo.com. And we're also on LinkedIn, THCFO Accounting. So our handle is THCFO Accounting. Anywhere in the social media space, you'll find us.
Okay. I do have one last question. Are you just an Oregon-based accountant, or do you do all over the country?
We're unique in the respect that we're different from other CPAs. We have enrolled agents on staff. We can actually do accounting in all 50 states.
Oh, sweet.
We have all the certifications and everything that we need to do taxes in those states that require extra certifications. So we can say we are truly a global, or not global, a national tax firm.
That's cool. That's so important. I know it's difficult, even as a non-plant touching business, to find funding and tax information,
just a bank account.
and bank account and all of these things. So I think it's really important for all of everybody to know about THCFO accounting.
Right.
Thanks so much for joining us, and we hope you have a great event.
Thanks.
We are here with Nathan and Christy from the bakery. Can you guys tell us a little bit about your store, where people can find you?
We're a new company that just opened up in Lafayette, Oregon.
Congratulations.
November 11th.
We are a small, locally owned cannabis company. We are vertically integrated. We have an indoor and an outdoor farm. We have a wide variety of products to just choose from. We have our own flour and we have other farms' flours in our stores. We offer major discounts to veterans, seniors, industry discounts.
Awesome. That's amazing. And what do you think budtenders need to know to work in this industry?
It's an ever evolving industry. There's always new things to learn. I think just taking on to yourself to learn more, the CBG, the CBD, what it does, a more knowledgeable budtender, I think, will go further in either just sales and just relationships with their customers.
Absolutely. We totally agree.
What about you, Christy? What do you think?
I'm about right there with Nate. You have to keep yourself educated. Everything's changing in the industry every day. So the more educated you are, the better off you're going to be at doing your sales and being to give the customer the right product that they need.
Absolutely.
What do you think is a benefit for your brand to be here at the exchange?
With being able to meet all the vendors that we haven't been able to meet and not talking on the phone or emailing anymore, being a face-to-face contact is so much nicer. And then you actually get to have a personal relationship with the company that you're trying to build a relationship with.
Especially with us being a new company, it's like, hey, we're here, you guys want to check it out. And I just think it's great to bring the weed community back to, it's not so corporate feeling. Now we're back to hanging out with each other, having food together, talking business, but also having fun with it. I think it's great.
I love that.
Yeah, cultivating those relationships.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And where can folks find you online if they want to follow you?
They can follow us on Instagram or on Facebook. It's The Bakery 503. Or you can go to our webpage at thebakery503.com.
Amazing.
We're also on Dutchies. So
Yes,
you
we
can
also have Dutchie too.
Order online and come pick it up.
We are here with Clint from Re-Up. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank y'all for having us gather here at the exchange. What an epic
I'm
event.
excited to be here.
Can't do it without y'all.
Can you tell us a little bit about your company and what you do?
So I'm just one of the amazing worker bees of Re-Up, which is owned by Oregon Cannabis Collective. We also have a farm called Trip Farms. Shout out Trip Farms. If you ain't smoking Trip, you ain't tripping. And then we also have our own extraction called Covert and Movement Extracts. So we do a great job from the whole circle vibe in the sense of the cannabis community. We got our hands in a little bit of everything to help out the communities across the beautiful state of Oregon. Let's go.
Amazing.
Yes.
And what is one thing that you think budtenders should know?
Attenders should know the value of just that simplicity of community service. Get to know your community, everybody. It starts right there. Don't get me wrong, you got to know the core values of today's benefits of cannabinoids, but it also starts with the people on that level. So if you get to know the people in your community, because a lot of those people going in there don't maybe have that interaction experience in cannabis just yet. So having that value of community service, community understanding, and being welcoming as people and to know your people, it will set your store and set you up as a bud tender. And then you go on to information. Yes. People to people, baby. You are the people that make it happen, the bud tenders.
That's right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
buddies, we love our bud tenders.
We love our budtenders.
We can't do it without you bud tenders out there.
Tip your budtenders, folks.
Please tip them. You know, they make a good amount of money in the sense of just getting by, which means it's hard out here. They just get by. So your tips really help. Let's go.
They really do.
They really do. How does it benefit your business by being at the exchange?
You know, when we come to these exchanges, the best part about it from a bud tender's perspective, everybody, is you get to see everybody that's about it in the sense of the cannabis farms. So you get to meet the people, the growers and such, right? And then you get to meet the extractors as well. So the people that are making your concentrates in terms of dabs, cartridges, the ones that make it happen in that realm. And what happens is when you come to these exchanges, you get the 411 about what they're all about. You get to put the faces behind the brand, right? Which is truly important because you're going to be, as a bud tender, the person that gives this information back to your community. So when you're coming out here, you get to gather all information about these amazing products. Shout out to all these vendors and all these people out here making it happen, by the way. And you get to learn that information, get the best price point too for your store, so you can get affordable products for your store all across the board in the sense of products. So very important to come to these.
Love that.
Let's go.
And where can folks find your brand online?
So you need to go on Instagram. You can find us at covert.extracts. Go follow them. They're amazing people. Or on Instagram at Oregon Cannabis Collective. Great group of farms, extractors, bud tenders in the sense of the re-up, the store. They are amazing. We do a great job down there in Talon, Oregon. And then, great people to follow. They do a great job of not only showcasing their brands and their store, we showcase all brands. It takes all brands in the cannabis community to make it happen. Friendly competition, but ultimately we are here to bring you the benefits, of cannabinoids and cannabis. We got to be in it together still. It's a great culture of everyday life of everyday people.
Amazing. We are here with Derek from Willamette Valley. Thank you so much for joining us
Absolutely.
today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your company.
So we're Willamette Valley Alchemy, short name WVA is kind of what everybody calls us. We were founded in 2015, kind of a hope and a prayer, and quickly became the first recreational processor in the state of Oregon. And we've just been doing our thing for 10 plus years, lots of great relationships, worked with lots of amazing farms, and we're just happy to still be here and people still buy our products.
Amazing. And what's one thing that you want bud tenders to know about your company or one of your flagship products?
I would say about our company, we really embrace the culture of the Willamette Valley. If you look at all of our products and all of our branding and marketing, it's very oriented to the things that you can do in our area. We try to incorporate a lot of other local brands and local activities and just really coincide with that. I would say one of the biggest things about our brand is that you can always trust our quality. We're very rigorous about our QC processes, our quality, and I think that's why we have remained relevant for 10 plus years. We're a lot of bud tenders' favorites, a lot of the OG bud tenders, but there's a lot of new bud tenders out there that maybe haven't tried our product, and I encourage them to do so because we've won over 17 awards for a reason.
Amazing.
That's awesome. So we at Take Root are all about education for bud tenders.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you want all bud tenders to know about?
I would say not all carts are created equal. Pay attention to the packaging. Made with live resin is not the same thing as 100% live resin. There's a lot of misleading things about there. And when you buy our product, we tell you exactly where it's from, exactly what farm it's from. Always 100% cannabis, no additives, none of that weird stuff. And I feel like the line has become really blurry between that in all categories, but cartridges specifically. A lot of them just have really misleading like cannabis extract. I don't know. It's very hard to tell. So I recommend bud tenders take a second, read the packaging, ask the questions, and really decide that is this a good product that I should be pushing to customers? Because you might have cool packaging, but you might be encouraging a customer to buy something that isn't as good of a quality. They could spend $1 or $2 more and get something that's exactly what it says it is. I think that's really important for our society. COVID really forced us to take a step backwards. People could only shop online based on THC percentage and indica sativa hybrid, and that was basically it. And so we regressed. And I really want to see us educate and teach the consumer more, because $10 cartridges are great at face value, but what are you really getting?
Totally. That's a really good point. Read your packaging, people, and make sure you understand what everything says on the packaging.
And if you don't know, ask. We
Yes.
are happy to always inform people and educate them on our products and just the cannabis market in general. We're very experienced, so we can help people educate. There's a lot of good information on our website, things like that. So
I love that you're a resource for everybody.
yes.
How has the exchange impacted you and your business, and why is it a good thing for you to be here?
So we're a weird one. We've been in business a really long time, and we're already working with the majority of the accounts that we're meeting with here, but we look at it as being a part of the community of this beautiful cannabis industry we're in, and it allows us to strengthen our relationships, meet new people. There's a lot of farms of people we've never met here. So it's half networking, half meetings. If you're a new brand, absolutely worth it. For us, it's worth it just to be a part of it, really. But I think if you were a brand new brand coming on the scene, this is absolutely something you should be doing. It's money well spent. Where else can you get 20 meetings with top accounts? You got Nectar, Groundworks, and Chalice all in the same place.
Right.
And if you're in sales, you know how hard it is to get all those people just to even talk to you, let alone in the same place. I think that is important to take note. And I would say embrace it. Show your best. Don't just show up and sit at a table with no decorations. Do your best, make an impact.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen be successful here, because this is our 6th time, I believe, here. We're very experienced in this event. We go a little harder every year. So
That's awesome. All right. So where can all of our viewers find you and your brand online or in the stores in Oregon?
So our website is WillametValleyAlchemy.com. It's a mouthful, a lot of letters. But as far as stores, we're in most of the major chains. We're in over 300 retailers across the state. We are very strong in the Eugene, Portland, Bend, and Ontario area specifically. You can find us in almost any major shop in any of those areas. I will say, probably won't find a lot of our products in some of the secret budget shops, because we are not a budget brand and we're not trying to be. But we're in Nectar, we're in people like that. You can definitely find our products. And if people want to know where to find our product, shoot us an email. We'll help them find somewhere close to them that would be a good place to go.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Derek,
Thank you guys for having
joining
me.
us.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
We are here with Ashlee from Scout. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to sit down with you ladies.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Scoutwell and what you guys do.
Yeah, so Scoutwell is the first edible company to pair edibles with a clinical grade sleep tracking tool.
Okay.
Yeah. So our founder is previously from the pharmaceutical world. He's got a lot of background in that industry and really saw an opening to help move cannabis into the medicine cabinet, help break down the stigma around it. And of course, get people away from the awful over-the-counter artificial melatonin or even prescription sleep aids that are highly addictive.
Love that. It's nice to have the technology piece too, so you can track it and see how it's actually working for you.
Absolutely. So our tech will deliver a sleep score to the consumer and help them understand how their sleep is being affected. We'll monitor their progress and say, hey, great job. Your points are improving. We continue to give other advice too. Hey, maybe you need to switch formula dosage. And we really think it's important to educate the consumer around time of day you take it. How is it affecting you? Even things like, hey, don't drink caffeine after 3 if you want to get some sleep, right?
So what's one thing that you think budtenders should know?
Sleep is a really big reason that people come in and use cannabis. And I think there's not a dispensary out there that would argue with that, right?
True.
Yeah. But there's so many options in the market. And of course, we all do our best to try to educate consumers, but there's a lot of consumers that aren't comfortable coming in for cannabis yet. Edibles are a great gateway product, right? It feels like a natural choice. And our products with the tech help make the right recommendation for the guest and take that guesswork out of it for the bud tenders, help take the pressure off of them. And it helps the customer feel like there's another expert really recommending it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so cool. Just all of it, like the whole tech piece of it all, and offering suggestions on how what products would benefit you. I think is like other than the bud tender doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
So I think that is so cool.
Yeah. And the bud tender still exists.
Of course.
At the end of the day, they're still the ones that are talking to the consumer all the time. We're just adding an extra layer of expertise, especially because while we would love the consumers in the shops to want to buy our products too, we're really trying to send in a new customer.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. So how has being at the exchange benefited your business?
We are brand new to the market. So we just launched our products into the market in October.
Congratulations.
The worst time to launch into the market.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good for a test. It was good to get us in the door at some dispensaries and do some pop-up events and really start getting familiar with the industry in this market. But coming here today, it's been fantastic. I've met some amazing people, sold into some dispensaries, which is great. I also learned a lot. I was able to answer a lot of questions and just make connections. So it's been great.
And where can folks find you online if they want to learn more about your products?
Yeah. If you follow us on Instagram at scout.well, right? We're all about helping people scout their own wellness journey. Yep. You can also check out our website and of course, visit us at our booth if you're here at the exchange, booth number 35, and happy to share more information.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are here with Corey from Extract Consultants. Tell us a little bit about your company.
We are a flavor house specializing in we've been in the cannabis space for about 10 years, and our manufacturing partner is also owned by the same family and has worked in essential oils for over 100 years. So we have deep knowledge of aroma chemicals and how they interact in formulas for vapes, for edibles, even perfumes, tinctures, topicals, all sorts of things. And so we sell into a lot of cannabis companies and processors.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks. It's fun to be here. It's a big adventure.
So, what do you think budtenders need to know?
Budtenders are actually relatively experienced and somewhat knowledgeable about terpenes, but I think folks they get confused because terpenes can mean so many things and people get all caught up in, oh, are they hemp derived? Are they cannabis derived? Are they botanically derived? But pretty much anything that you are experiencing is a botanically derived terpene. It is an aroma chemical that comes from plants. So I would encourage folks to maybe get out of their comfort zones a little bit and realize that highly flavored terpenes are still natural and are still really delicious, often are organic and are contained in lots of things that are around us.
And why do you think an ancillary business like yours would benefit to coming to the exchange?
Yeah, so we've exhibited as a vendor in a number of different locations here with this team. I'm volunteering at this particular event only because lots of reasons, but we've got some really good customers and prospects here that I can still network with as a volunteer. But we've had amazing conversations from the Michigan event and the Oregon event. It's a really cozy little show. Like you get to talk to everybody. It's really easy to meet people, to network. It's got a nice intimate feel. The food here, great. Salads all day, every day. It's just a really nice group. So size of show, quality of attendee, all amazing.
And where can folks find you online if they want to follow you?
We are a business-to-business company, so we don't have a lot that's really consumer-facing, but we do have LinkedIn. We do have an Instagram. It's at Extract Consultants, lots of words. We've got catalogs online. You can read about our terpenes. You can learn about flavors. We do custom flavor development, so always happy to get samples into folks' hands. So look us up and let us know.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
We are here with Sydney from Mood Cannabis. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your brand and what you guys do.
Yes, we are a very small local neighborhood pot shop. I feel like we see the same people day in and day out. We're very much a part of like their routines. They're out walking their dogs, stopping at 7-Eleven, stopping by us to get a joint, little eighth, whatever. We are women owned and operated, so that's always a fun little tidbit about us. And we really strive to create a good culture. So one of our biggest beliefs is like, our owners treat me well. I treat the team well, this one treats our customers, and in turn, the customers treat us well. So that is pretty much us in a nutshell. We're here to spread love, help people find the medicine that they need, or just get people high too, because that's also fun.
Love that philosophy.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you think all budtenders should know?
I think, I have a feeling most budtenders already know this, but I think I would like, yes, I would all budtenders to know that THC is just a number. And I know, I feel like we talk about this a lot, but then it still gets forgotten about. Some of the best weed that I've ever smoked has been 13%. So that I feel is something I try to educate and help people with all the time, but there is very much such a stigma in the industry still that, oh, higher percentage is going to get me higher. I feel like people equate it to alcohol, where it's, oh, obviously a higher ABV is going to get you more messed up, but you're not necessarily getting all the other terpenes and other cannabinoids that really help you either medicinally or just have a more dynamic high that lasts a little bit longer. So yeah, I think that would be, again, I feel like most people know that, but just helping educate the masses with that, because I see it all the time. Everyone's like, what's your highest percentage for the cheapest price? And I'm like, who cares? I'm like, that's not going to get you to what you're looking for.
Yeah. I love it when they're always like, here's this, whatever it is, with 29%.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
it's 32%.
very cool.
Great, who grew it? And they're like, I don't
know. Yeah.
Yeah, I always tell people farms. If you find a good farm and you've had a couple of their strains that are just killer, 9 out of 10 times, most of their stuff is going to be awesome.
Totally. I love that. How has your business benefited from being at the exchange?
So I actually went to the exchange in Portland in 2023, and we found so many cool companies that I would have never heard of. Some of them still don't even have Instagrams or even websites, or even like ordering or non-leafing, anything like that. And so being able to come out here and actually talk to the people who are growing the flower, making the products, it truly does benefit you so much, because one of my favorite farms that we found in Green Hills, I would have never found them if it wasn't for this event. And they grow some of the most amazing flower ever.
and just being able to reconnect with people you haven't seen in a really long time, continuing those relationships. I think everyone needs to go to the exchange. It truly is so beneficial for the wholesalers, the producers, and for the retailers.
Love that.
Jinx.
And if folks want to come to your shop, what's the best way for them to find you?
Honestly, our website is probably the best way to find any of our information. Is just moodfindcannabis.com, or you can also get there by going to letschangeyourmood.com. It's like our little slogan.
Cute.
And we are located on River Road here in town.
Awesome.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. Perfect. We are here with Mark from Arise Cannabis. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about your brand, where we can find you.
Arise Cannabis has been around now for about 7 or 8 years. We have several salespeople that we work all over the state. My guys have different territories that they call on. So, yeah, we're in, I think, about 60 different dispensaries around the Oregon area. I can tell you can find us in Portland at Green Oasis, because we went and bought the dispensary so that we could understand the dispensary's business. So you can absolutely find us there. I think we have a map on our website also that you can go out and click on and see where we're located.
So we're all about budtender education here. And so what is one thing that you wish all budtenders knew about?
One thing.
Or top 3.
Okay.
If we need to expand it.
Yeah, okay. The one thing I wish that the whole industry could wrap their brain around, it ain't all about THC. It's just not. The terps, there's so much that comes in. And I think there's a misconception about the THC being the only thing that should drive the value. Does that make sense?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, the other thing, it's a little pet peeve of mine, and I know that this is the way everything's sold in Oregon, but the fact that flower is sold and placed on a shelf in a jar, and that jar is opened and closed and opened and closed, and it's under lights, and that product's being degraded every day. And so if you get the front end of the jar when it first came into the dispensary, you're okay. But if you go into a dispensary, you start getting that bottom, it's not what I would consider fresh. So I think the industry in your state, and we're looking at some different products that would test the, like we're looking at doing an infused pre-ground, ready to roll 1/4 ounce in a sealed bag that will keep it fresh. But we're looking, I think the market, the industry needs to look at some different products and different ways we market them. So is that good?
Yeah. How
Huh?
does being at an event like the exchange benefit your company?
I've got my head grower here, and I've got my head of operations. I've got a great team because it's all about people. It's people meeting people and people to help each other. I've had 4 meetings already this morning. It's from people that are large and small, but they all seem to have the same challenge. The price of the market, price of cars coming down, it is a competitive market. How do we grow this business, and how do we work together that we're not cutting each other's throats all the time? This race to the lowest price has got to stop.
Yes,
it's got to stop because it costs more to grow it, and some people can sell it for it. And what's that going to do? That ain't helping nobody.
You can have those conversations here.
Yeah, you can, and
Yeah.
that's when the question is, what do I get out of it?
Yeah.
I get to talk to people in the industry and actually express myself to you. And I think as a group, we can figure this out.
Yeah.
But it takes a village.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And where can folks find your brand online if they want to check?
Okay, it's Arise, ARISE, cannabis.com.
Excellent.
And you can go and you can see how we grow. We've got a little bit unique growing scenario. We're out in Bonita, Oregon, in Industrial Park. We got 80 containers, 40-foot high cube containers stacked up on 2 buildings. And our containers are growing. So it allows us to grow a lot of strains and to be fresh all the time with our product, because we pull down and harvest about 6 to 7 containers every week. So we have a continuous fresh harvest coming out that we offer to the industry. So y'all come see us.
Excellent. Thanks for sitting down with us.
You bet. You bet.
We're here with Brittany from Blaze. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I love what you guys are doing here. I'm really excited to talk with y'all a little bit.
Hooray! Tell us a little bit about Blaze, what you guys do.
Sure. So Blaze is a point of sale and e-commerce companies. We have quite a few different tech solutions for dispensary owners primarily. We offer the e-commerce side, payments, pretty much everything from front end to back end that they need for their dispensaries.
Amazing. And what's one thing that you want budtenders to know about your product, about the industry, what you wish budtenders knew?
Sure. So part of what Blaze does is we really want to empower budtenders with the technology that we're using. One of the struggles that dispensaries really work with is when your customer experience, what does that look like for your dispensary? Sometimes you have dispensaries that are looking for more of like the Genius Bar method, bring people out on the floor, your budtenders out on the floor, or you just have your simple behind the counter situation. So with Blaze and what we've really tried to perfect is making that experience better for everybody, both budtender and for customers. A couple tools that we have. One is that there is an upselling feature in our system. And so what happens is when you're a budtender and you pull up a member who comes into your store regularly, get all that customer info. And some examples of that are your top 3 products that you maybe pick out all the time, your average spend, things like that. And so when your customers are coming in, maybe they want to try something new, or hey, these guys, they usually spend like $50 when they come in and they're only coming in for a couple things. This is a great opportunity for them to sell and be more of an empowering experience for them. Part of that also is we have a catalog of products. So it'll have all of the product information, THC levels, all of that stuff. So when a budtender is out on the floor, maybe helping somebody, they have easy access to all of that, which is really great. So yeah, those are a couple of tools that we use. There's a lot. You have a lot of different ways of just making that process just easy for budtenders. And that's what we really try to provide for them.
And how has being at the exchange benefited your business?
Oh my goodness. These events, first of all, are some of the best model of events that you can have in any industry. Cannabis is lucky that we have this too, but this is our probably 4th or 5th event here with the exchange. We're very familiar with Susan and Julia, everybody. And really the benefit more than anything is it's not just the FaceTime and having that meeting, but it's hearing feedback. That's something that I always take away from these events is that you hear what those problems are. And it's not even just with the meetings. When we're all walking around, talking, introducing ourselves and everything, hearing what plights people are dealing with, whether you're a vendor or you're a dispensary or just a consumer, it's really valuable information for us when it comes to just making our business decisions. Like that's important for anybody, who's coming into this industry for sure.
Yeah, I love that. We haven't heard that answer yet. That's a really good answer. Feedback.
Yeah, that's what I always take away from it. I get so much advice and just different fun facts even. Like I learned something about legislation yesterday that I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. So you just never know what you find out.
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to follow your company online, where can they find you?
Sure. So a lot of people mix us up with Blaze Pizza. So make sure that you're going to Blaze Solutions Inc. is the actual name of the company. So blaze.me is our URL. So that separates us from the pizza guys. And of course, we have all social media. So LinkedIn, Instagram, all that will be under blaze.me. And you can follow me, of course, on there as well. Brittany Serrano, happy to have any connections. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It was my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
We are here with Forrest from Mother Magnolia Cannabis Co. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your brand.
Yeah, so we're Mother Magnolia Cannabis Co. We've been in business since 2016, so pretty much just the top of legalization here in Oregon. We're based out of Junction City, so just north of here in Eugene, about 10 or 15 miles. We're a cultivar-specific terpene profile farm, so we really grow in soil with organic amendments, all under Fluence LEDs. So we really try to implement as much regenerative practices as possible with dry amendments. We recycle all of our soil for everything from our indoor plants to our light deck greenhouses to our full-term fields. We've got a really solid crew back at the farm that really has a very deep passion for cannabis in general, and especially from that perspective of being medicine for people. And so we're constantly have a few different staples, a few different cultivars that really perform well for us out there, especially our Alpha Blue, which is a cultivar that we've had from the very beginning since 2016. It's a Blue Dream New York City Diesel Cross. So great sativa option.
to find that.
It is.
Two favorite strain.
No, and it's funny because someone brought up the other day about how Blue Dream is kind of just like the West Coast preferred, and then the New York City Diesel being the East Coast preferred.
Yeah.
So it's like a combo made in heaven. So we got some great sativa options. We have over 30 different cultivars at the farm too. So we have some staples, but are constantly pheno hunting for that new strain, something that will catch people's interest, but also to make sure that people aren't getting tired of the same thing as well. Because it's so big about following trend lines out there and seeing what's the new thing. Well, also people really love it. So we try to do our best to be able to cater that to the consumers of Oregon.
Love that. Love all that you do. Everything that you said, I'm like, tick, love it.
Thank you.
And what's one thing that you wish budtenders knew about your product, your brand, anything?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things, I think a lot of frustrations that we have in the cannabis industry is just the potency forward ideology. A lot of people who think that the highest potency is what's going to get me the most high, that's what's going to give me the best result, the most bang for your buck, is that we have the entourage effect for a reason. We have the different levels of ratios of cannabinoids and terpene profiles that really give you as an individual a unique experience. And I think being able to really just ask yourself, how does this make me feel? Is this medicine that works for me? Because unfortunately with so much variance, I can't tell you that the exact same experience that I'm going to have is going to be the same that you have. So I would encourage people to just explore a little bit more and try things that might be a little bit less potency. Ask about the terpene profiles, because I think nowadays most people are starting to realize things like aromatherapy and how much effect that the terpenes actually have on our neurochemistry just as much as the cannabinoids do. So I think it's really important for people to be able to explore a little bit, be a little bit creative, try new products, try things that might be lower potency, see how does it feel for you, and be able to try and track as much as you can of what performs the best for you and the farms that provide those cultivars for you, and to be able to follow suit with those things that are specific to your body.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And how has being at the exchange benefited your business?
Absolutely. So this is actually our 4th exchange that we've had so far. So we've been to the Portland one twice, and this is our 2nd time here in Eugene. It just seems every time that we come, it's been a little bit more growth every single time. Just getting the opportunity to get to talk with everyone in the industry, getting those few opportune moments to be able to sit down for 10, 15 minutes, just cut to the chase, be able to talk about who we are, what are your needs, and being able to really lower the overall effort that you have to do to keep in contact with people and to reach out and to talk with every single intake manager. So having the opportunity to just get to come together and get straight to the point, honestly, I think just helps with that growth and evolution, as well as just being able to have the opportunity to be represented in the cannabis industry and to have people be familiar with your face and with your company and being able to have that moment of dialogue and just to get chummy with people. I'm a big believer that the cannabis industry started from the legacy markets, and really it was about you and your best friend around the corner that got you your bag, and you wanted to come by and hang out and have a good conversation and talk about philosophy. And so I think a lot of people who are producers and consumers of Oregon really want that kind of perspective too. So I think it really just building relationships is foundational at the beginning. But it's like at the end of the day, it is a product. We're all trying to be able to survive in an industry that's ever changing. But ultimately, I think it's always about human connection first. And I think for those who can really come from it in the perspective of human connection first, the money will follow later. If you follow the money first, then I think you lack the human connection. And that's my personal perspective. But ultimately, with that philosophy coming into sales and representing us in this industry, I feel like it is paramount to showing the success that you can have by just having that genuine human connection.
I love that. Absolutely.
Right on.
And if anybody wants to connect with you and your brand, where can they
Yeah.
find you online?
Totally. So a couple places you can check us out on Instagram. We are at Mother Magnolia Media. So that's a great place to be able to reference us as well. We actually just started a YouTube channel as well. So you can check us out on Mother Magnolia Cultivation on YouTube. Tom, who is our owner, he's actually been doing a great deep dive on all of our aspects of our farm, our grow practices, basically everything that has to do with the ins and outs over at Mother Magnolia. We actually also just started a little playlist on there called our Flower Hour. So we do a little deep dive on every individual cultivar that we're representing, a little deep dive on the breeder, the terpene profiles, the cannabinoid ratios, and just want to be able to inform not only the bud tenders, but the consumers about all the different cultivars so that they have a direct connection to that experience that they get that's unique and saying, hey, I want to learn a little bit more. So I would definitely check us out on our Instagram and check us out on our YouTube.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The exchange is such a good time.
It was amazing how many people were there.
Yeah.
And how many people we saw from last year.
Yes.
And so the connections we were able to make got deeper. And it's just great to build this community.
Yeah. And like seriously, shout out to Susan and Julie. They are just a light in this community.
Yeah.
And working with them and partnering with them to be able to come to the event, first of all, is amazing. And we are super grateful. But then to be able to podcast there and really showcase who we are in a really creative way is really fun. And then on top of that, we got to talk to 32 brands that we didn't have to do anything for. Like we didn't have to like email them and cold call them. Like they sat with us and we met them, and now we have a connection with them. And that's what you do at the exchange.
Exactly.
Is you meet with brands, you get business done in a really concise way, and you have fun, and you get to foster your relationships and like party with your community.
So if you are a brand or you work for a dispensary in any of the following places, the exchange is coming to your community. If you're in Michigan, they're going to be in Lansing, May 7th and 8th. And then again later in the year in Shelby Township, October 22nd through 23rd.
And if you're in Colorado, they'll be in Longmont, June 11th and 12th. And they're coming back to Oregon, coming to Portland this time, September 17th and the 18th. So if you are in any of those areas and you are a cannabis business, producer, processor, farm, ancillary, dispenser, like anybody who's in the industry, there is a space for you at the exchange. And it's really just them. So like they're two human beings that you can talk to. If you have any questions, they are happy to hop on a call. So make sure you check out theexchangecannabis.com for all of the information about the exchange. You can find us on Instagram at Take Root Training and at ChronicGals_420. And make sure you check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Take Root Training.
Don't forget to subscribe to Talking Potheads wherever you get your podcasts.
Keep learning
and keep growing.